Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here we begin with some crime news. Police have successfully dismantled a drug processing and distribution syndicate worth an estimated 3.8 million ringgit following 6 raids across Kuala Lumpur and Selangor last week. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Fadil Marsus said the operation carried out between October 14 and 17 was the result of months of surveillance and intelligence gathering.
Operasi ini adalah berdasarkan kepada risikan pengedaran dada dan operasi telah dilaksanakan pada 14 hingga 17 Oktober. Yang lepas, Jabatan Siasatan Jenayah Narkotik telah melancarkan 6 siri operasi sekitar Kuala Lumpur dan Selangor dan telah menangkap 3 lelaki tempatan dan 3 perempuan warga asing umur lingkungan 33 hingga 61 tahun. Serbuan ini melibatkan kawasan di Maluri Ceras, Yampang Jaya, di Pandan Perdana, dan beberapa kawasan lain dalam Kuala Lumpur dan Selangor.
Police seized various types of drugs, including 462 kilograms of MDMA powder, 38 kilograms of compressed marijuana, 32 grams of ketamine, 195 grams of RM pills, and 52 grams of ecstasy. Fadil said the amount seized could have affected up to 1.7 million people if it had reached the market. Officers also confiscated cash and jewelry belonging to the suspects. Urine tests on all 6 suspects returned negative, but 2 of them have prior criminal records related to drugs and other offences. The case is being investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952.
One woman was killed and another seriously injured in a 3-vehicle collision along Jalan KOTA Samarahan, Tabuan Jaya this morning. Police said the accident happened around 9:30 a.m. near Unimas Traffic Light Junction.
Investigations revealed that a motorcycle carrying 2 riders crashed into the back of a Proton Saga that had stopped at the lights. The impact sent the pillion rider, identified as 40-year-old Nur Aisyah Abdullah from Kampung Kuhom Mawang in Serian, flying into the next lane where she was run over by a passing lorry. Nur Aisyah was pronounced dead at the scene and her body was sent to the Sarawak General Hospital Forensic Unit for a post-mortem. The motorcyclist sustained serious injuries and was rushed to the hospital for treatment, while the drivers of the Saga and the lorry escaped unhurt. Police have classified the case under Section 41(1) of the Road Transport Act 1987 for causing death by reckless or dangerous driving. Witnesses say the motorcycle burst into flames after the crash, quickly put out by members of the public.
Over 19 million ringgit has been approved for the maintenance and upgrading works of the 107 houses of worship in Sarawak. Funded by Unifor's Phase 2 allocation distribution, its chairman, Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Ukahambas, said a more than 35 million ringgit has already been disbursed out of the 90 million ringgit allocated by the state government.
The 90 million that has been approved by Yang Muhammad for our house of worship in Sarawak. So this, we have approved 19.07 million under Phase 2, benefiting 107 projects. To date, we have distributed Ringgit Malaysia 35.77 million out of 90 million allocation under Phase 1 and Phase 2, benefiting 171 projects.
UGA says monitoring has been tightened to ensure all allocations are properly used and accounted for. For those eligible to receive the funding, the next distribution will be conducted in November. UGA says monitoring has been tightened to ensure all allocations are properly used and accounted for. For those eligible to receive the funding, the next distribution will be conducted in November.
Madanya masih ada baki yang kita akan agihkan, has to be distributed within in November, otherwise tidak dapat dibelanja. Also, today we have 14 MPs in Adun who received 107 checks totaling 19.7 million. And this project phase 2 under the constituencies.
Uga urged elected representatives to help ensure all projects are well planned, monitored and properly documented under the Unifor Fund.
Sarawak-based SMD Semiconductor is working together with a South Korean tech company, Rebellions Inc., in developing a unique chip to power the sovereign AI data center. Its CEO, Shariman Jamil, said this critical move is essential to reduce dependency on global computing system that is dominated by a US-based company and NVIDIA.
This is the first collaborations between two nations, Sarawak, Malaysia and South Korea. Together we team up. We have this objective to break the dominance of the legacy compute systems. So when I say legacy compute system, which is mainly dominated by NVIDIA in the US, so this is, I think, very important steps for Sarawak, Malaysia and Korea together to really look at a more sustainable solution, more power efficient solutions for our sovereign AI data centers.
Previously developed Katek AI and Katek AI GAN will be integrated during R&D phase with Rebellions at Chariman, while disclosing that major progress of the project can be seen within the next 6 months. Additionally, he says this technology can improve power efficiency, grid stability and uses gallium nitride material to produce faster, smaller and energy-efficient chips.
Imagine in the future that if the country needs to have this kind of AI data center chips, but the chips are not available for us, then we will be hindered to do what we are supposed to do in terms of processing more information and all that. So it's very important that we secure together Sarawak, Malaysia and Korea to secure this technology for the countries.
Permodalan Nasional Berhad (PNB) is committed to implementing a comprehensive transformation to strengthen its position as the country's leading investment institution. PNB Group President and Group Chief Executive Dato' Abdul Rahman Ahmad said the move will make the institution more resilient and better prepared to face future economic challenges. The change is crucial to ensure that PNB continues to deliver value to unit holders and remain relevant in an increasingly dynamic global financial landscape.
In the context of corporate Malaysia, where KLCI total shareholders' return over the last 10 years was anemic, delivering return below fixed deposit rate, Malaysian companies must transform to deliver better stakeholder value to avoid another lost decade.
Abdul Rahman emphasized that the need for transformation is not limited to the corporate sector, but also involves individuals who must acquire new skills, adapt to modern working styles, and re-evaluate their savings and investment strategies for the future. He stated that PNB has now shifted from being a domestic investor to a global investor, as well as from a single asset class equity manager to a multi-asset class manager. In addition, he said PNB is also focusing on customer service transformation through enhanced digital platforms, product expansion, and changes to its distribution model.
Trade, investment and global security will be among the key issues discussed in Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's upcoming meeting with US President Donald Trump at the 47th TH ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur this weekend. Anwar also acknowledged that while opinions on Trump are mixed, his role in halting the bombings in Gaza should be recognized as a positive step toward resolving the ongoing humanitarian crisis in the region.
Whatever you may say, whatever the reservations, you must commend the fact that Trump did a major service in stopping at least the bombings in Gaza. But our challenge, of course, to ensure that peace prevail and justice prevail, and ultimately the legitimate interests and aspirations of the Palestinians be accorded their rights.
Anwar also clarified that Trump's presence at the ASEAN summit is not solely the result of Malaysia's invitation, but part of a collective initiative by ASEAN member states. Earlier, Trump confirmed his attendance and announced he would also visit South Korea and Japan as part of his regional tour.
Still on the same development, Anwar has indicated that Russian President Vladimir Putin may attend the upcoming summit and related meetings, although Moscow has so far only confirmed the participation of its Deputy Prime Minister. The summit, set to take place in Kuala Lumpur from October 26 to 29, is set to gather regional leaders and dialogue partners to address key political, economic and security issues affecting Southeast Asia and beyond.
He told me in Beijing that he will seriously consider this, but for now, he's sending Deputy Prime Minister. I do think it's likely right now because, but he did say he's keen to come, and let's see.
On to world news. Qatar remains steadfast with Palestine, slamming the Zionist regime for its inhumane and barbaric attacks against innocent lives. Today, Sheikh Tamim Hamad Al Thani, Qatar's emir, condemns all of Israeli practices in Palestine that violates all international laws and norms, while calling for international accountability.
نؤكد هنا إدانتنا لجميع الانتهاكات والممارسات الإسرائيلية في فلسطين، ولا سيما تحويل قطاع غزة إلى منطقة غير صالحة للحياة البشرية، ومواصلة خرق وقف إطلاق النار، وتوسيع الاستيطان في الضفة الغربية، ومساعي تهويد الحرم القدسي الشريف، مؤكدين أيضا على أن قطاع غزة جزءا لا يتجزأ من الأراضي الفلسطينية من الدولة الفلسطينية الموحدة.
Sheikh Tamim, during the opening session of the Shura Council, expanded his criticism on Israel's attempt to alter the character of Masjid al-Aqsa's compound and urged the international community to hold Israel accountable for its military campaign in Gaza and ensure civilian protection in the besieged coastal territory. Additionally, he referenced the attack in Doha in September, where Israel claimed it targeted Hamas delegation during ceasefire negotiations, calling it as state terrorism.
Sanae Takaichi has been officially elected as Japan's first female prime minister, marking a historic moment as she becomes the country's fifth leader in 5 years. The 64-year-old hardline conservative secured 237 votes in the 465-seat lower house and 125 votes in a runoff in the upper house against opposition leader Yoshihiko Noda.
Her appointment follows a recent victory in the ruling Liberal Democratic Party's leadership race and comes just a day after the LDP reached a coalition deal with the right-wing Japan Innovation Party known as Ishin. Meanwhile, public support for the long-dominant LDP has weakened amid rising inflation and a slush fund scandal. In a bid to restore voter confidence, Takaichi has taken a firm stance on immigration and foreign tourism, issues that became key talking points in the leadership contest.
And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.